What is up, everyone? Let's see. So, uh, alright, well, let's see. So today I'm going to be reacting. I'm going to be watching Does This Look White to You? So, let's get into it. Whew, let's do this.
I want you to stare. Really focus on the circle at the center of this group of dots and don't move your eyes. Do you see it? If you're not colorblind, it's likely you're seeing a blue dot moving around the circle. Try looking at the blue dot and you'll find it's not there. Why would your brain tell you something's there when it's really not? Well, the shocking truth is that this happens to you every day, especially while you're staring at your computer or phone screen. So in here I've got some red and what's the other color?
Green.
Pass the first test. Okay. And I'm gonna have you mix it up. What color do you think it's gonna turn?
Brownish.
If I was in second grade, I should remember this, but it should be yellow, right?
Red, brown, orange?
Purplish.
Purplish. Okay. What is it looking like?
Brown? Dark red?
All right, what color is it turning?
Greenish brown.
I've got the same colors, the same paint actually, and I'm gonna spin it. What color do you think it's gonna appear?
Brown, but I think this is a trick question.
Okay, so you're gonna say brown again. You're gonna guess
I
brown.
know it's wrong. It's a trick question. It has to be.
I hope that this one's yellow and not too
It's
brown.
yellow.
Okay, you hope this
Oh,
is
yes.
yellow.
Oh, my
What color
gosh.
does that look to you?
It looks yellowish.
Oh my gosh, it's
Like a mustard yellow.
Like a mustard yellow. Was it surprising that this kind of dark red and that
Oh my
bright green
goodness.
made yellow?
what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of why.
Why is it happening? You're told in art class that when you mix the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, you get brown. And that's true of paint, but it's not true of light. When I spin the red and green wheel, there's no yellow light there, but you see yellow. Your brain is being tricked because of how your eyes work. On your retina, you have light-sensitive cells called cones that perceive color. Red light, green light, and blue light cones. Some people have an extra cone, which would allow them to see many more colors than the rest of us, which would be crazy. But typically we just have the red, green, and blue cones, which means that there's no cone for orange light or yellow light. But the crazy thing is that these three cones work together to allow you to see the rest of the colors. It works like this. If I shine yellow light on your eyes, your red cones actually respond a little bit, and your green cones respond a little bit too. Then your brain combines those red and green responses to say, that's yellow. Now, if instead of yellow light, I shine a little red light and a little green light on your eyes, the red cones respond and the green cones respond, and your brain says, red and green. Well, that makes yellow. Even if there's no yellow light there. This is how your LCD screen tricks you into seeing yellow. It's doing that right now. All you're seeing with your eyes is red and green, but your brain is seeing yellow. And now, blue, if you stared long enough at that yellow star. This is an effect of how your eyes work as well. And so were the yellow dots at the beginning.
Oh my
They have to
gosh.
do with complementary colors. But don't get this confused with complementary or opposite colors on a paint color wheel. If you mix two of those opposite colors, you get a darker brownish color because adding more pigments means more colors are absorbed. On a color wheel for light, mixing two complementary colors gives you white. For example, if I show you this red screen and then this cyan screen, and then switch them back and forth fast enough, you should see white. Here goes.
I see white.
I really hope that worked.
Oh
And
my
if it did,
gosh.
you'd be making this face because
Wow.
it's incredible. You mix two colors and you get white, but
It's
white
crazy.
is all the colors. Or you perceiving all the colors. If I shine red, green, and blue light on your eyes, you're gonna see white. Because white light excites all three cones, just like a mix of red, green, and blue light does. Otherwise, this wouldn't look white with just the red, green, and blue pixels on your RGB screen. So, red mixed with its opposite color, cyan, which is just a mix of green and blue light, should look white. And now, you'll notice that blue is the complementary color of yellow. So together they should make white. When you stare at yellow light for a while, your red and green cones continue to respond and eventually become dull. When you suddenly switch to a white screen, all three cones should now get excited. But blue was the only one that wasn't dulled over time. So it will send a stronger signal to your brain. And your brain will tell you there's blue light, even when there's not. But now, you know better.
Wow. Wow. That was crazy. I did not know any of that stuff right now. Oh, wow. That was crazy. This is not a rainbow. Okay, I see that one.
You need a website. Why
No
not do it
one
yourself?
cares. Okay, let's do this.
The rainbow as we know it is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Roy G. Biv. I'm ignoring indigo because, let's be honest, indigo? But where exactly is violet? Is it at the end here? This dark blue? And what's this brighter light blue-green? Cyan, perhaps? So why don't we say the rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue? Roy G. Cooper. Well, we actually do, and we've just forgotten. When Isaac Newton originally observed a rainbow of light split by a prism and made his labeling of the colors as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, the thing he called blue was indeed what we would now call blue-green, or teal or cyan, reminiscent of the color of the blue sky. And what we now tend to call blue, Newton called violet, as in roses are red, violets are blue, dark blue. He only included indigo in his fundamental 7 colors of the rainbow so that they would match the number of notes of the Western musical scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Yeah. Purple, magenta,
Duh.
and hot pink, as we know, don't occur in the rainbow from a prism because they can only be made as a combination of red and blue light, and those are on opposite sides of the rainbow, nowhere near overlapping. So there is no purple or hot pink in the rainbow from a prism. Violet is there in the roses are red, violets are blue sense, but purple is not. So then why do rainbows in the sky often look like they have purple in them? I suspect sometimes it's an optical illusion whereby nice deep blues in small amounts surrounded by a lighter color appear purplish to our eyes. However, sometimes purple and pink really are there, because a rainbow is really a rain disk. Each color of sunlight reflects back in a bright rimmed disk, all of different sizes, which together add up to make a white disk with a colorful rim. But because light is a wave, interference from the raindrops themselves actually gives each disk multiple rings. The familiar outer ring is just the brightest. The others are called supernumerary rings, and are the source of supernumerary rainbows. The smaller the raindrops, the stronger the supernumerary bows. And if the drops are the right size, the first red supernumerary ring can overlap significantly with the main violet ring. And what do red and violet give? Purple. So as the saying goes, roses are red, violets are blue, and purple in a rainbow is a supernumerary hue.
Wow.
This episode of Minute Physics is supported by Harry's.com.
Wow, that was crazy. I don't get this. Wow. Huh. Let me see this one real quick.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
When it's cold out and you didn't dress for the weather and you're far from shelter, you have a crucial decision to make. Should you run or ski to try to warm up, or go slow and avoid the cooling effects of wind? When it's cold out and you're not moving, the heat you lose goes to heating up the air around you, forming a slightly warmer protective layer so you don't cool off as quickly. But if you're moving, or if it's windy, you're being exposed to some amount of fresh new cold air, more of it the faster you go. You're literally running away from the air you warmed, and so you cool off faster than if you stay put. Though once you're going fast enough, the protective layer of air will be pretty much entirely gone, and you'll basically lose heat at the same rate regardless of how fast you're running. Now, when humans run, we also generate a fair amount of heat inside our bodies. In fact, we produce a roughly constant amount of heat per kilometer traveled, so the faster you go, the more heat you generate any given minute. Because the heat generated by running has a steady increase while your protective layer of warm air goes away quickly at low speeds, it turns out that there's a kind of forbidden range of speeds where it's not worth walking, or even running slowly, since you'd lose less heat standing still. So what's the minimum speed where the heat you generate running finally balances out the additional heat you lose to the air movement? Well, using some estimations for the surface area and energy generation of an adult human running naked, and the effects of wind on heat loss, I found that when it's freezing outside, you need to be able to run roughly a 5-minute mile to be better off moving than staying put. Faster if it's colder out. And this wouldn't even mean you're not losing heat, it's just the point at which you lose less heat running than you do standing still. Now, if 5-minute miles sounds like a challenge, don't worry. All you need to do is put on some clothing, like enough that you're only losing half as much heat as a naked person, and a 15-minute mile, basically a brisk walk, will do just fine. So, either stay put, or wear appropriate winter clothing,